In this video, I will be breaking down Daniel Schneemann's 2-home run game on May 3rd against the Toronto Blue Jays. We will use Schneemann's first 2 at-bats against Kevin Gausman to help us understand his approach at the plate. After taking the first 3 pitches, Schneemann hits a line drive to left field off of a fastball, but it gets caught at the warning track. Gausman probably makes a mental note that Schneemann was waiting for a fastball, which is why the first pitch splitter in the next at-bat is very effective. Out of the hand, it looks like the fastball from the last at-bat, but then it tails out of the zone. Schneemann lays off the second and third pitch splitters, then he gets the fastball he is looking for and hits it hard to center field, but it gets caught on the warning track again. Schneemann had 2 good swings on fastballs, and that is probably the pitch he's going to continue to look for in this game if he wants to do damage. In the 8th inning, he comes up against Chad Green and takes a first pitch slider for a strike. The next pitch, he gets an inside fastball and turns on it, hitting it 103 miles per hour off the bat for a 375-foot home run. When we freeze the location of this pitch and compare it to some data on Schneemann, we will see that this is a location where he does not miss a lot of pitches. In 2024 and 2025, his lowest K rate and whiff rate against right-handed pitchers are in this location. If we look at his slugging and WOBA numbers, we will see that this is also the area he has done the most amount of damage over the last 2 seasons. One last aspect to note is that this is not the intended location of the pitch. Heineman is set up outside, but Green misses his spot and it runs right into Schneemann's hot zone. An interesting piece of data I found when working on this video was how Chad Green's fastball had a drastic drop in run value from last year to this year. Pitching run value assigns a numerical value to each pitch, reflecting how many runs were prevented or allowed due to that specific pitch. We can see that last year, Green's fastball had a run value in the 84th percentile, while this year it has fallen to the 38th percentile. Sometimes this can be due to a change in the shape of a pitch, making it less effective. One way to get an idea of a pitcher's fastball shape is to look at its vertical break. Vertical break is essentially how much the ball appears to be rising or sinking out of the pitcher's hand. Higher vertical break makes the ball appear to be rising more, and 4-seam fastballs with high vertical break tend to indicate a strong overall pitch shape. If we look at Green's vertical movement on his fastball, it has increased an inch from last year, which means the shape is actually a bit better. Additionally, his fastball this year does not only have more vertical break than last year, but is above league average in vertical movement. We can assume that his fastball's drop in production is not due to the shape, so instead, let's take a look at the location of his fastball. Last year, he did a good job locating it up in the zone against left-handed hitters, which is a strong spot to be. This year though, we see quite the difference in location. He appears to be pulling his fastball inside versus lefties, which could be one of the reasons his fastball has been much worse this year compared to last year. This data not only tells us one reason why Green might be struggling to start the season, but also informs us that when he was pitching to Schneemann, there was a high likelihood that he would locate a fastball inside. And as we just saw, that is where Schneemann does the most damage. Ultimately, this was a bad matchup for Green, and the data we went over explains the result of the at-bat. Moving on to the 9th inning, Schneemann comes back up, this time against Yimi Garcia with the bases loaded. On the second pitch, he gets another inside fastball and hits this one 111.2 miles per hour, sending it 395 feet for a grand slam. Again, we can see where Heineman is set up, but just like Green, Garcia misses his spot and Schneemann capitalizes. We already know that this location is not where you want to pitch to Schneemann, but one other piece of data to consider is Schneemann's stats against specific pitch types. If we look at these charts of his 2024 numbers against different pitch types, we will notice that he had the most success against fastballs and really struggled to hit off-speed and breaking pitches. He has been even better against fastballs so far this year, as we can see by his 521 expected WOBA and his positive run value against 4-seam fastballs. He is still struggling against off-speed and breaking pitches though, with his expected WOBA well below 300 on those 2 pitch types. We know that the Blue Jays were not trying to pitch inside to Schneemann, they just failed to execute the location of their pitches. We do know for a fact though that they chose to throw him fastballs, and all of the data we just looked at tells us this is the only pitch type in his career that he has been able to do damage against. Maybe if the location of these pitches were executed a bit better, the pitch type would not have mattered, but knowing that he has not had success against other pitch types is another factor that should have been considered when pitching to him in these important late game situations. Hopefully you enjoyed this breakdown of Daniel Schneemann's 2-home run game against the Toronto Blue Jays on May 3rd.